Okay, well, the key wouldn't turn in the ignition. I presume that's probably because the steering lock was broken off or there was an issue. So I have pulled all that out and hot-wired it, but I won't show you that for obvious reasons. But I just need to get the ignition on to be able to see that things work. So the screen didn't work. The dashboard's better than mine. I don't know if it probably won't transfer over, obviously, because it's petrol, so it's different. I wonder whether the display will, although it is missing pixels, it is better than mine. So yes, it didn't work because everything over here was unplugged and all in a box. So I've managed to plug it all back in and the screen's come alive. So we'll have that out for mine. I'll take all this out and keep all this just in case I need any of that. But for now, I'll disconnect the battery again and start pulling things out. Okay, right, to remove this door card then to get to the handle, you've got a couple of things to do. You've got to pop this little tab out. And there's a 10mm bolt behind there. You've got a screw in the handle. You've got another screw in there. And you've got another screw in there. And then once they're undone, oh, that one's already been taken out. Has that one already been taken out? I don't know. And then they're just on poppers, so just pop it out, lift it over there and unplug all the plugs. So I'll show you that in a second. Right, so once you've pulled the cover off that's just stuck on here and the various cables out the way, to get the handle out, there's a little rubber grommet on there. You pop that out, undo that Torx, and that pulls off the lock mechanism. You can see it bolts in the back there. That's all that holds it on. And then the next one that holds the handle on, you can't actually see unless you go under here. You can see there is a little, if you look right directly below the cable, there is a 10mm bolt that's right behind the window channel. It looks like it's going to be a ratchet spanner to get that off. There's two there. There's one on the right, which is to do with the handle. You would leave that alone. You just undo the 10mm hex that's to the left of it. So I will see if I can get that undone and show you it out the car. And there we go. It bolts in there and holds it in, and then the handle just comes out. And the cable just slots in there, look. And that's where it sits. So I can now put this on the other car, although the cap's a different colour. I'll see if I can change that. And yeah, job's a good one. Right, I've plugged the battery back in and taken the window switch off of the door card and plugged it back in so I can check everything's working. Yep, that's how that's working. Driver's side one, passenger side one isn't, sorry. Rear one is. Ooh. Good if I could hold the buttons. That's going up. That's going up. Now, I'll be honest, I did try this yesterday, but I didn't get it on camera, and the passenger one did go down. So I wonder whether it's because I've unplug something over there, but it was working. Anyway, the reason I wanted to have a look was the mirrors. That's what I come back for, because I forgot to check that. Oh, for Pete's sake. There we go. Right. Oh. Okay, that one works. Nothing's happening in that door, so I wonder if I've unplugged it. I'm going to go and check. Right, I've plugged that door card back in, so let's try the switches now. Window still won't work. Right, so around here, with this button it works, but for some reason it's not working with the door button this time. So we know that works. I don't know about the mirrors though. We've got more plug. Ah, there's another plug here. Aha, that might be why. Let's try that then, shall we? Right, let's try that again. Still nothing. Right, well, we know it works over here, so I know the window wiper works. I couldn't see whether the mirror was, because obviously with the door code and I couldn't shut the door, so I've got to probably put it on my one anyway, so we'll soon see. Right, next. Oh, I can't remember if I did this before, so I've got all the headlights and indicators out as well. I'm not going to bother with the rear lights unless anyone thinks they're worth anything in their cracked form, i.e. are the units inside worth anything, but they're both cracked and damaged, so I'm not too bothered about them. Right, now the seats are out, you can see there is a 13mm nut there and there, and obviously the same on the wider one over there. That's just a locating pin, and then you've got 13mm bolts on the front, and then the back seats just lift out. So that was easy. Fronts are literally 2 16s at the back, 2 16s at the front. Very, very simple, very easy. Just got to make sure you unplug everything and obviously disconnect the battery, because they've got pretensions and stuff in them. So yeah, very easy. So I will go ahead and now fit them in the other car. Right, next to get out after the seats is these side bolsters. Now what you got to do is pop the seat belt cover off. It's just on 2 clips at the top, and then that'll come out the way. And then you've got these bolts that screw it there, and it's just resting in the bottom in a little slider. So undo those, lift it up, and it will pop out. Right, we now have a door handle and crystal indicators. Excellent, no more gap in the door. Now I have got this other interior in, it is manky, it needs a good clean. I don't think I'm going to go to the extent of changing the dashboard, but I might take the other one out and see how easy it is. So that's all in. So yes, now the door shuts, hallelujah. So just to show you, obviously that seat was already in it because the guy had changed it previously, and it is disgusting. So we've got the other seat in, we've got the back seats, the sides, and the door cards. As I say, don't know about the dashboard yet. We'll see if how this all comes apart, whether it's fairly simple procedure or not. The only thing I haven't changed yet, but I have taken off the other car, is these bits here. You just pop the top off and they just unclip. I'll do them another day. But yeah, all needs a really good clean. I also changed that cover in the back, although it is not been painted very well. It is better than the crusty silver one that was there before with paint flaking off. So on closer inspection, the roof lining has sagged, so I'll see how the other one is in a minute and maybe take that out. But yes, these seats need a damn good clean. I also removed this little thing off the car. It's a battery isolator with the remote controls. The previous guy had them because apparently the car's got a drain, and when he left it for a week, he'd come back, it wouldn't have enough to start it. Well, I found this kept cutting in. So you'd be sat in the car with the ignition on, like waiting for whatever have you, and then the battery would cut off. And I thought, if she's having this car and this plays up, it'll be a nightmare. So I've taken it off. Hopefully, as we're using it every day now, the battery won't be a problem. And maybe at some point I'll get round and see if I can find what the drain is. But it's quite a handy little thing. I might put it on another Land Rover that I've got that's not used very often. We'll see. Anyway, that's another little job done. Another little thing is this reflector is missing. So again, got it off the donor, clips on the front, sits in the bottom. Fixed. Right, well, as a lot of people are saying, it's not going to be the screen on the dashboard that's causing it not to work. It's one of the boxes in here. And as we know the screen worked in the other one with all these boxes, I'm going to try them one by one and see if anything comes alive. Wish me luck. Right, well, I've changed them all. Still no screen. So everyone who told me that it was not going to be a screen, it's going to be these, might still be wrong yet. So tomorrow I'll whip the dash out and see if I can get the screen changed. And if it still don't work, then I'll go back and start changing all these bits again, because obviously the screen I'm going to put in worked with all the other boxes in the donor car. So all in there. So yeah, back tomorrow. Well, it's got a spare wheel in the donor, so we've had that out. And the boot, oh, you can't really see because it's a bit dark, but the boot is dry. There we go, got the flash on. Yeah, the boot is dry, so hopefully the air compressor will be good, but we'll have it out and have a look. And then I've got to start removing these side trims, because obviously the ones in the car are biscuit and these are sort of ivory, I suppose you call it. I also need to test the window wiper, because I've noticed mine isn't working this morning. Now it's chucking it down the rain. Right, so first job, I'll pull this out. Right, I think I'm not going to bother with these cars. They are broken. I mean, that one's not too bad, but this one's all snapped. So I think we won't bother with those. We'll keep the biscuit ones, and if some cream one comes up, then we'll go with that. There's another amp in here. I don't know what that is. I think that's an aftermarket one. So I'm going to have a little look at that and see what's in there. Right, so I pulled it out, and it's a Pioneer 400 watt amp. Power supply goes along there, along here to the connector there. We have wires going off down the car. We have this plug cut off, which I presume is speaker wires. And then we obviously have an earth just linked up to the earth there. A remote that obviously comes from the loom somewhere. So this has obviously had an aftermarket amp put in and using the stereo. So I'm wondering whether I can do the same. If I can't get mine to work, I can utilise this and maybe put an aftermarket head unit in. At least the wife can have Bluetooth and phone calls and stuff. I don't really know. I'll have to investigate this a bit more. If anyone else has done this, let me know so I know what to look for. So it appears the amp was running the subs. Someone's wired this all in to these speaker wires that were going to the amp. So yeah, I don't know. Obviously the sub wasn't working, or for whatever reason, I don't know. Unless they did put an aftermarket stereo in and they just wired the sub into it. I don't know if that's possible with all these amps and wiring and stuff. I don't know how that works. I'll have to look into it some more, but anyway, that's all that out. Right, change the screen, still no joy, so I've got to go back in the boot again. So I'm going to put this screen in because I know it worked when it was in the donor, and then I will go back and swap all the bits in the boot. So what a pain in the derriere. Right, so we're going to get the headlining out. Undo the obvious thing. So you've got 4 horseshoe shaped clips where the dog guard and that would go, I suppose. They've got Phillips screws in each of them. Then you've got all your grab handles, all 4 of them. Again, pop the little clips off, sorry, the little covers off, and you've got screws holding them. The center light just pops out. You can unplug it, and then you've got 4 screws behind there. Then your sun visors, again, they've got 1 screw holding the clip, 3 screws holding the visor, both sides. In the center here, you've got to pop open that. Oh, I was keeping those. And there's 2 screws up in there. Now, obviously, other than all your rubbers and your A pillars and B pillars and C pillars that I've already taken out, they hold it in as well, so they've all got to pop out, but I've done that already. Next thing is a sunroof. Now the roof lining is bolted to the sunroof. You've got to open it, slide it back inside the car, and then you've got Phillips screws all around the edge, but that's only half of them. Next thing you've got to do is open your sunroof on the tilt, and then you can probably see there's them torque screws. If you undo them torque screws either side, apparently the glass lifts out and you can get to the rest of the screws going around the back. So I'm going to take them out now, and then I'll show you once that's done. Because it's a scrap car, I've been able to kneel on the roof, but I'm sure you can get around them all with a ladder, but I'll undo these and I'll come back once the glass is out. Right, there was actually 6 of those screws. There was 2 right at the front as well I didn't see, but apparently now this will just lift out, which it does. There we go. Right, yeah, you can sort of see where the screws are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 along the front. You can't see the side ones because they're under here. Obviously when the sunroof was slid back you could get to them. Now I'm guessing it's that one there and that one there, so I'll take them off and see what happens. There you go, there's actually 4, because that obviously holds the sunroof cover in place, so we'll whip those out and that should fall off. Right, so that actually comes out up top as well, and then it exposes the last screws for the head lining. Yay. Right, so now it's dropped, I can see that front panel actually is on clips and comes out, so you can unplug everything and pull it out the way first. Well, it's a bit late now, so as this is scrap, I'm just going to cut that loom, but obviously when I come to put it in my car, I'm going to have to pop that cover off and unplug everything properly. So yeah, make sure you do that first. There's also a clip on the back here, but it slides in and out. I didn't see that obviously, so I've just pulled. So again, if you're doing it in a proper car that you want to keep, that slides on that bit there. Right, I'm back in the boot. I've started stripping it out. I'm going to remove all these boxes. I had a little look on the internet last night and someone said it would just be the sat-nav unit. Well, I've swapped that and still no joy. So all this is going to come out. I'm going to swap it for all the ones out of the donor car because I saw it all working. So if this doesn't fix it, it's obviously a wiring issue somewhere, which I'll probably never get to the bottom to. So I'll have to think of something different if this is the case. So I'll pull all this out, get it all swapped, and we'll go from there. Hallelujah, hallelujah, thank God for that. We have a screen. So I've swapped everything, the screen, the amps, everything in the boot, the whole lot has changed, and now it works. So obviously you can't mix and match the parts for some reason. Fixed, happy, done. Just swapped the mirrors over as well, so I've now got power fold mirrors that I didn't have before, which is nice. Shame they're chrome, but never mind. So that's the stereo done this morning, the mirror's done, now it's the correct headlight. There we go, we've got that, so we'll get all that changed. So just while stripping some more bits, I found this big ISO plug loom that goes all the way up behind the dashboard to where the head unit was and plugs into the original wires, hence the cut off plug I found. So someone had put an aftermarket radio in. So it's quite a handy bit of wire actually. I'm going to have that out. Right, so we've got that harness removed. It is literally a ISO harness extender that goes from the front to back. I know I can't really see it, but it's down there. We've got a few more bits stripped off it. I've got to wait till the BRM has had its exhaust done, and then I can get this on the lift and get the underneath stuff off. So I'll end this one here. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe and share. Leave us a comment. Tell us about all the failures of your L322, because no doubt I will have some. So yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks guys, ta-da.